when God releases the evening wolves. What this message is about, God's use of the Chaldeans as his minister of divine justice towards his people, rebellious Israel. That's what this message is about, the first part of it. We will see Habakkuk's cry of a perplexed heart. He cries out to God. He sees all of the injustices that are taking place around him, all of the rebellion that's taking place around him, all of the crime, the political crime to the high crimes of his day. He sees it all and he cries out to God and he says, God, there's even violence in the streets. And he says, God, but you don't answer. You don't answer, God. And we're going to tap in and see Habakkuk's perplexed and confused and frustrated spirit and heart. Because what he went through in his day, it is a mirror of the day that we're living in right now. We will see Habakkuk's cry of a perplexed heart at the raw ruthlessness of this judgment and God's silence through it all. Habakkuk welcomes the Chaldeans as the divine messengers of divine justice, but then is rocked back on his heels and rocked to the core at just how ruthless and violent they were to God's chosen people. You see, the Chaldeans were the most ruthless nation of that time. Nations feared the Chaldeans. They would leave mounds that were 20, 30, 40 feet high of human skulls behind as a testimony that they were there, that they came in and they terrorized a village or a town or something. That was their landmark. That was their marker, was these mounds of human skulls. They were very ruthless. The conditions of the society that Habakkuk lived in. Check this out. The law of God was discarded. Baal worship and human sacrifices were taking place. That's child sacrifices for Baal worship and human sacrifices. Morality was at an all-time low and everything was corrupt. And Habakkuk, along with his peers Jeremiah and Ezekiel, predicted and warned of the rise of Babylon, other nations that were getting stronger. They warned of that. A prophet's function was to analyze the shape of evil, speak the word of God, which included what was to come, and intercede for a people or for a nation. And that's what Habakkuk did. We hear a complaint in the form of an expression or grief that focuses on the evil in his society. See, this is what this prophet Habakkuk did as a prophet. He had a complaint in the form of an expression and a grief that focused on the evil in his society and God's inaction and his own frustration. This is the world that Habakkuk lived in. And Habakkuk performed all three functions. He analyzed his society, and he conveyed God's message and the announcement of the coming divine judgment. And he also began to intercede for the people. That's what this prophet did. You compare that to modern day prophets. Let me just throw that out there. Compare that to modern day prophets.